Hey, we started a little crazy this morning, but well, this afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Midday Motivation. So, today, before we get started, take a minute to hit the notifications button so that you get notifications of when we go live every weekday around 12:15. Hi, Aunt Tina. Oh, so loyal. She's always here. Um, Also, make sure that if you haven't already, take a minute to like my page, Takia D. Hansley. And again, welcome to another edition of Midday Motivation. So, before we really get into the topic today, I want to let you know that I'm still on an amazing high from a weekend at the Millionaire Mind experience. It was an awesome experience. If you are one of those people striving for financial freedom, if financial freedom and happiness is your goal, you need to get to a Millionaire Mind experience. I am now an ambassador for Millionaire Mind experience. So if you would like to attend a Millionaire Mind experience somewhere near you, inbox me or comment on this video and I will find some tickets and get you some free tickets to the next event near you. Okay, now that that's done, hey Travis, wow, haven't seen you in years. But today's topic is right place, right time. And I just want to let you know, hi January, you are in the right place at the right time always. If you want to find peace in this world, if you want to have peace in your life, you will find ultimate peace when you reach the understanding that you are always in the right place at the right time. Everything happens for a reason. You are where you are for a particular reason. No matter what happens, no matter what circumstance goes on in your life, there is a purpose for that. Everything has a purpose. So I want to tell you a story to kind of get you in the mindset to help you understand that even when bad things happen, it might feel bad at that moment, but it could have an amazing outcome for you or for someone else in the future. For example, I read a book, and a story in the book it's about this lady who is an opera singer. So she goes and something happens to her voice. She's supposed to have a show that night and her throat is acting up. So she goes to the doctor and they don't know what's going on. They send her to a throat specialist. She goes to the throat specialist and she's waiting in the waiting room. And the nurse comes out and she starts talking to her, can I ask you a personal question? And she's like, okay, I'm in a doctor's office. You always ask personal questions, so why would she say this to me? Well, it just so happens that the opera singer, half of her hand had been severed when she was 11 years old. She was in an accident and she lost half of one of her hands. So the nurse was asking about her hand. She asked her, how has your disability affected your life? Hi, Mom. So she goes into think about it. She's like, no one has ever actually asked me how it has affected my life. People usually, look at my hand and say, oh, can you still do everything that other people do? Are you able to make it through life? But nobody has actually asked her how has it affected her life. And she thought about it. And so she tells the nurse, it's affected my life a lot, but not in a negative way. Because I lost half of one of my hands, I've had to learn things differently and I have to work harder to excel things, but I use it as a gift. You know, I can still play the guitar. I still play the piano. I can type, I think, 75 words a minute. I can't even type 75 words a minute with all 10 of my fingers. You know what I'm saying? So she's accomplished all these great things in spite of what happened to her hand. And still, in answering the nurse's question, she doesn't understand, you know, why she would ask her that. So the nurse tells her, you know, the reason I asked is because I just had a child and she was born with only 3 fingers on one of her hands, and I just wanted to know how this disability will affect her life. And so the opera singer, she tells her, you know, it's not a disability, it's a gift. And it's all in the way you learn how to deal with it. She said from the time she had the accident, her family and all her supporters, they didn't look at it as something negative. They just always instilled in her how wonderful she'll be and how people will always look at everything she accomplishes as something amazing. Look, you did this with only 8 fingers. You were able to accomplish this and you only have 8 fingers. Everything you do becomes such a great accomplishment. So she went through life, she went through life always seeing things as this is going to be great. She was always celebrated. So she lived her life in a way that no one could knock her down because she was always in a celebratory spirit. So telling the nurse her story and letting her know, you know, my family raised me this way to feel that what I do is great and me accomplishing things is great. So when I go for something, I make sure I accomplish it because I don't want what happened to me to become a failure in my life. So the nurse, she stood there and she thought about it for a minute, and then she just started smiling. She realizes that the way she raises her child and the love that she gives her child is going to bring her into an understanding of greatness as long as she instills that in her life. So to bring it all back into the topic for today, which is you're always in the right place at the right time. This opera singer who hardly ever gets sick ends up in this doctor's office talking about a random incident that happened to her when she was 11 years old. That incident may have been painful at the time, but she just healed this lady's spirit who felt like her child was born with a disability. She just inspired this woman to raise her child in a lifestyle of greatness. So she just happened to be in the second doctor's office at the right time for this particular nurse to come out and speak to her about an incident that happened to her when she was 11. So I want you to understand, whatever happens in your life, good or bad, there's a reason behind it. There's a purpose behind everything that happens. You are always in the right place at the right time. You on your way to work, you're rushing to work, and all of a sudden you're in traffic. And you're thinking, oh my God, I should have went the other way. You didn't go the other way. You went this way to run into traffic. If you would have went the other way, if you would have went on the other street, guess what? There was an accident on that street. You could have been the person in that accident, but because you were in the right place, sitting in traffic at that right time, you avoided that accident. You avoided getting to work early to get fussed out by somebody coming in that just had a bad day or woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So don't look at things always in the negative. You have to see the positive in everything that happens. There's always a reason for what you go through in life, the good and the bad. You're always in the right place at the right time. So again, I'm going to close with make sure you hit the button to get notifications of when we go live every weekday around 12:15. Also, if you haven't already, like my page, Takia D. Hansley. Send me a friend request if we're not friends already. If you have a story of a time that you were in the right place at the right time, Put it in the comments or put it on your timeline. Hashtag right place, right time. Peace and love. Enjoy your day. Have an amazing day on purpose. And if you want to attend a Millionaire Mind experience, also comment below or send me a message and I'll get you some tickets. Have an amazing day.